This week on Rova Automotive, we get a special delivery. All right, so we got a call from the driver that they were going to be in Danville delivering a car, and ours was next to be delivered. So they gave us a day notice, and they said that would be there. This was on Thursday when they called, and this video was taken Friday morning. So they called us and said they'd be there around noon. They backed up. They got this really, really cool truck that all the students seem to really love, but it's a pretty cool system that they have. So the transportation, the company is actually out of Arizona. So our driver there, Kelly, was actually out of the Phoenix area, and he drives all the way over to Massachusetts to pick up the cars, and then drives all the way back across the country, delivering them one by one. So it's a specially equipped truck that's got a gantry crane set up in the middle of it. So it's a really neat system that allows them to package these cars and deliver them to the lucky recipients kind of in one piece and without a whole lot of work. Basically, there's one guy driving the truck, and he's able to hook up, unload this whole car and kit assembly all by himself with very little help from anybody else. So you can see him swinging the part of the gantry out that allows him to bring the car all the way outside of the trailer. So we had a body cart there. You can see it on the left. We had a body cart already built that we'd use for a couple of years for some other projects. So that's how we were going to transport it into the shop, where this truck is backed up to a couple hundred feet from the entrance to our shop. So this is kind of a really cool moment. You start to see the car coming out, start to see sunlight hitting it, and everybody got pretty excited just being able to see the car and really put our eyes on something we've been talking about and working towards really since late last year and early February was kind of when this project really took on a life of its own and became a reality. And we've been working on it really full blown since late February when we got the donor car and we're able to take that all apart. So, in all fairness, the kids really didn't know what this kit was. I mean, they'd kind of heard me explain to them what it is, and they'd seen a couple of videos of it, but until you really put your eyes on it and can actually touch and feel this car and see kind of how it's put together and what needs to be done to make it a roadworthy car, it's a little bit overwhelming, but it's really, really cool to be able to see this and think that, okay, this is a car that's basically kind of in parts and boxes, and we're going to make it run and drive. So it's just a really cool day. So you can see Dylan there. He's getting the cart all set up to where we can get it loaded. So it was cool that this happened on a day where we had some of the auto kids in another class, in a building trades class that we obviously kind of had to put on pause while this was getting delivered. And then we were able to get Katie. She came from another class and was able to actually see it. I really wanted them there. Obviously, this is a pretty big moment for the program, the delivery of this car. And so it was cool that they all got to share in that delivery. So here you can see we're trying to get it from the truck, and we're going to roll it a couple hundred feet back into the shop. They decided at this point they probably needed somebody to steer, and so they got two on the back and one guy steering on the front just to make sure we got everything in there safely and we didn't hit Mr. Main's truck or we didn't hit the anything around it. So get it in the shop, and the way that Factory 5 ships this is basically they put a lot of the interior panels and stuff, they're just temporarily attached. So they're kind of put on with, one or two sheet metal screws per panel. It's easier for them to transport all that stuff that way than putting it in boxes. And then they kind of temporarily put the body on too, just so everything transports that way. And really to to start the build of the car, everything has to be completely disassembled, and then you start from the ground up. So while it looks more like a car here that will in the next couple of weeks, it's just strictly for transportation, just so they can get everything to the new owner before it's the safest way to do it, and it's the most economical way for them to get everything there. So we just took a few minutes, kind of walked over everything, looked over everything, and kind of really tried to take in what we were about to embark on. So that's kind of the main kit, and then there's 15 boxes that come with it. So these boxes are everything from the weather stripping to the windshield, the exhaust parts. There's lots of little things with door latches and trunk latches and hood pins and kind of everything that comes along with the car that you're not going to use. If you're not taking it off the donor car, it comes new from factory 5 in these boxes. So this was a pretty big part all in itself, is just getting these boxes open and getting the inventory done, making sure that everything they said they shipped, that they did, that we've got all the components there and we can account for them. And then really it was just getting everything to where it was somewhat organized, to where we knew where it was. So when we get to that part of the build, we can go right there and get that part and get it ready to go. So we took their list and then we kind of adjusted it a little bit to how we were going to do the build, because we're going to do it a little bit out of sequence from what Factory 5 wants you to do, just because it works a little bit better with the shorter time periods that we have. We work on this for usually about an hour at a time. So if we can have different systems, we can have different people working on different systems. So we arranged it more to where everything was in a system. So we'll have lots more videos to come. That's about all we've got for today. Our next update will show kind of blowing the car apart or taking it all apart and getting ready to go. So as always, thanks for watching and thanks for the support.